Okay, so hey hi guys, hello and welcome back to my channel Elucidate. And guys, from today onwards, I'll be starting a new series of would be totally based on Java. And today is the very first lecture, and onto this particular lecture, we are going to understand what is actually Java Development Kit (JDK), Java Runtime Environment (JRE), and what is Java Virtual Machine. Why do we even need them, and what is their actual use? Okay, and I'm going to illustrate the various differences between JVM, JRE, and JDK. Guys, let's start it with a particular story, right? What normally happens when you start learning this language Java or even Python or some other languages, whenever you start learning, you get tend to you we have a tendency to get confused as a human being, right? So what happens normally if you ask someone what is JDK, what is JRE, everybody would be referring to this particular diagram that I have made. They may be even more fancy kind of diagrams, some extra text written over there, but the concept is the same. That JDK is a combination of JRE plus development tools. JRE is a combination of JVM plus libraries, and JVM is a virtual machine. That is Java Virtual Machine. Okay. So if you just Google it out, a lot of theories present onto the market, a lot of videos are there, but I've seen people still getting confused because what happens when you go to the very basics of Java or any other language, until and unless you associate these examples with your life, you won't be able to understand and you will be getting confused. I've seen engineering guys who have been doing engineering with the computer science, and after 3 years, if at the midnight, let's say at 11 p.m., I've been asking them, what was that JDK and JRE and JVM stuff, and those guys would be like, first seeing into the dark night sky and then seeing my face, and then it's all washed up because most of the people just trying to learn them. Even very experienced people who are having 2 to 3 or 4 years of experience, sometimes they do not have very basic idea. And or even if they have idea, I'm not saying that people are not having idea. Everybody has the idea, but they're not able to illustrate the example, so that the very first time if somebody comes and asks me, I'm able to explain it, right? So guys, the whole essence of my lecture is that I'll make you guys understand this JVM, JRE, and JDK. What the hell is this? What we are talking about? A very basic lecture it is. Don't think that you will get master, but yes, you will get something from this particular lecture. Okay, so the way I have designed this particular lecture is that you might be seeing some fancy kind of pictures that have been illustrated over here. So I'll make you understand JVM, JRE, and JDK through these examples only. Okay, so let's start. So, so guys, first of all, you need to understand JVM. What is JVM? First, try to know its full form. The full form of JVM is Java Virtual Machine. So those who do not know anything about programming language, who are very new, who do not know even about what virtual machines are, it's just for them. I'm just giving a little bit of time over here. So virtual machines are those machines that do not really exist. You cannot see them, you cannot touch them, but they will do exact work, exact same set of work they will be able to perform the way your actual system on in your office or in your home, the way they are doing that, they will also do the same thing, but they are virtual, they do not really exist. You cannot touch them, you cannot feel them, you cannot see them. So these are just the basic example of virtual machine. Like take an example of time machine. Time machine is a virtual concept. Nobody can sit into a particular machine and go to a future 2070 or 2075. Okay, so these are just virtual concepts. So the very first thing that we learned is that what is the full form of Java? JVM, it is Java Virtual Machine. And now we are going to understand. First, try to understand this particular examples, these images that I have written, what I'm trying to depict over here. First, try to get into my mindset, okay? And then it will be very easier for you guys to understand JDK, JRE, and JVM. And I guarantee, I really guarantee that nobody would be required even to revise the concept. It's just the basic set of things. If you understand, you would be never required to revise, whether you are going to give an interview or whether you are going to explain it to your juniors or even seniors. Okay, so first understand what is this. So here I have taken example of a frying pan. This is a frying pan. Okay, what does a frying pan do? A frying pan helps you to execute something. What do we mean by execute something? To make something. Like you can make chips, potato chips, you can fry it onto a frying pan, right? You can make an omelette as well. So there are multiple recipes with the help of which a frying pan would be required. If you want to make an omelette, this kind of stuff you need to have. Otherwise, yeah, you cannot make an omelette on a steel plate, right? You cannot make it on a ground. You need this kind of particular stuff. Okay, so just understand the basic example what I'm trying to convey. So let's say I have two different eggs. I mean, no, what do you mean by different eggs? I have two eggs. Okay, I have two eggs, and I want to have an omelette of the egg whites from these two eggs. Okay, so in order to prepare an omelette, you would be simply requiring this particular pan. I hope I am making sense till now. Okay, a pan would be required if you want to make an omelette. This kind of pan is required. Let's assume that. Okay, then the next step would be, if you want to prepare an omelette, then this pan would be required. Although it may be a non-stick pan or even other thing, you might be requiring certain other things as well. What those certain other things as well can be, it may be a pinch of cooking oil, it may be a pinch of cooking spray, or a pinch of salt or pepper. If you want to add some onion to it, although you can make with the help of only two eggs, right? But if you want to make it a proper way, onto a particular the way you want it, you would be requiring some extra things. Okay, so with the help of this pan and your recipe, that is your egg white, and with this oil, you can make at least omelette. You can make with the help of these two things, right? Or three to four things. Like you can take example of uh, oil, salt, pepper. You need gas as well. You need stove as well. So a number of things would be required in order to prepare it, right? Some basic things. So till now, again, I'm reiterating. I needed this pan because I would be explaining it, referring it as a Java virtual machine later on. But first, understand, I was requiring a pan in order to prepare an omelette recipe. But since it cannot be prepared, you know, just by putting and heating it and by putting eggs onto it, it may require some extra things like oil, salt, pepper, onion, right? So these things normally people tend to add it onto the recipe of omelette. Okay, and the third thing is the entire kitchen. This is the diagram. I was not getting a proper image so I just copied it from somewhere. This is a diagram that represents your entire kitchen. That is the step 3 one. Okay, so in kitchen you can not only make omelette, you can make egg curry, you can make mutton curry, you can make vegetable sandwich, you can make vegetable soup, you can make thousands of things in kitchen. Can you make it? Yes, we can make it, right? So it happens. So this was the smallest thing, it was a bigger thing, and it is the biggest thing. In the kitchen, you can not only make omelette, you can daily make a 5,000 things in the 5,000 different way, in 5,000 different manner. Okay. I hope till now I have made my example clear with the help of an omelette recipe. Now we are going to understand step by step what actually is Java virtual machine. Okay. Now coming back to some of the points, and then I'll again and again I'll be correlating this example with the help of whatever it is written over here, so that in your entire life you never ever have to remember the concept and revise it when you are going to, for your particular exam, or revise it when you are going for an interview, because a lot of n number of questions can be asked by any person at any point of time. So if you understand something, you do not need to learn and revise. Revision comes where you do not understand the concept. And in my career, under I tried, or I started to learn the concept very later on. So I don't want this thing to happen with other folks who are quite young. Let's do that. Okay. So So now I'll be just talking it both in terms of Java, and I'll be talking both in terms of this kitchen soup recipe or omelette recipe, whatever I was talking about previously. Okay, please pay a very close attention. So what is a JVM? Since you all have started learning Java, you must be knowing what Java code is all about. Okay, so if I do like, let's say I've opened a Java editor, right? So public static void main. We will come all to onto all these points later on onto my upcoming lectures. But let's say onto this particular point of time, system dot out dot println, and you want to print something over here. Let's say I just want to have I just want to have omelette. That is it. Let's say this is my Java code, for example. Okay, and if you want to run it, it will get simply printed onto your screen. I want to have omelette because you are printing something. This command is basically used to print. This is ln, this is next line, no need to go into that. This is the thing, whatever you have written over here will get simply printed. I want to have omelette, right? So let's say this is your Java code. Okay, so there would be a particular place where you would be required to run your Java code. Okay, okay guys, so your Java virtual machine is basically used to execute some of the Java code. So what is the Java code? I just gave an example. It can be anything. You can print something, you can build an application, you can do something, you can do a number of things. So for the sake of simplicity, if you want to execute this particular code, whatever this is entire thing that has been written, you need JVM and and JRE. I'll come to that point as well, right? So guys, now the second point is very important. Java virtual machine is platform dependent, as various computers will have their own operating system and each operating system will have its own Java virtual machine. Okay, so first try to understand what I'm trying to say, and very soon at the end of our lecture everything would be clear cut, totally. It would be embedded onto your mind what is JRE, JDK and JVM. Okay, so it says that JVM is platform dependent. So what do we mean by platform dependent? Again, going back to this omelette example. Let's say you have a friend Lisa. Okay, you go to her and you say that Lisa, I just want to have an omelette. So what she will do? She will bring her own pan out. Okay, because in her home, although she has a pan, but it may be of a different company, it may be from a different manufacturer, right? So it is platform dependent. What do we mean by platform dependent? Let's say if Lisa is a sort of platform, just understand in terms of Java, this pan is dependent upon Lisa because it resides onto Lisa's home. Okay, let's say you have a friend Alex, you have a friend Rahul. If you go and ask them, guys, I want your JVM, let's say your JVM is your pan. So all it cannot happen that all your Alex, Rahul or Lisa, everyone would be having the same pan of same size and shape and of from the same manufacturer. No, it will not happen. Everybody in their house in the house have their own set of pans and frying pans of different costs, different prices, right? So this, as I have told you in my example, if your pan can be dependent upon someone, because in every house there are different pans, so it is dependent upon the people who are buying it, right? I hope I'm making myself clear. So the way it is written that Java is JVM is platform dependent, so this pan is also platform dependent because it is coming from somebody's house. That house may be of your friend Lisa, your house may be of your friend Alex, or from any of your friends, right? So I'll keep on correlating and you have to understand, you will be able to understand. And whatever is written over here, it is platform independent, and various computers will have their own operating system, and each OS will have its own JVM. So something is written and you need to understand it. How? I'll make it clear with the help of this example. let's say you have a Mac machine. One of your friends of your having a Mac machine. You also have a Windows machine, and let's say you also have a Ubuntu machine. You have three different computer systems onto your home. Uh, three and all these computer systems have their own operating system. So you can work on Ubuntu as well, you can work on Windows as well, and you can work on Mac as well. And please try to remember just this one concept, that each and every computer having their own operating system have their own virtual machine. Okay, let's say your friend Rahul, okay, will have its own virtual machine or frying pan. Your friend Alex will have its own virtual machine or frying pan. What is the Windows system? Windows maybe is the operating system. In your case of friend Rahul, you may refer it to the place where they are living. Let's say on to India. Rahul is living in India. He will have a different set of pan. Lisa is living in America, and she will have a different set of pan from different manufacturer. Okay, I'll come to the entire story in the end. Just understand, I'm just building up the story at this point of time. It will take time, but please do not panic, and please do not think that it is taking so much of time. I'll After the end of this lecture, I guarantee you do not need to revise these concepts again and again in your entire life. Similarly, that if this is Mohit is having a particular this Mohit is living in, let's say, North Carolina, and in North Carolina there is some different Java virtual machine. Okay, or the different kind of pan, a very long pan kind of, you can imagine onto your mind. Okay, this is what is written over here. JVM is platform dependent. This virtual machine, which is used to execute the Java code, is platform dependent because each and every computer will have their own operating system, and each operating system will have their own JVM. Just like in the case of example, normal life, Rahul lives in India, and India, different pan. Lisa, America, different pan. I hope I'm making myself clear. Okay. The third point. The third point, I'll discuss it later on. Okay. And the fourth point is very important. When you compile a Java program, a .java file. So guys, if this is a file, right? The file onto which a Java code is written becomes a Java file, .java file. Just understand at this point of time. Those who are technical enough are getting my point, surely. But those who have just started the journey on learning Java, just try to understand that when you write a code on some editor, it becomes your .java file. You have to save it onto notepad in .java. Okay, so the code or your source code, this is your source code, the place where you are writing just these codes kind of thing, this is your .java file. Okay, so when we compile a Java program, the Java compiler does a certain thing, right? It changes whatever is written over here, it changes into, it produces a bytecode for that. So what is a bytecode? Bytecode becomes another dot class file. So if I save it, this particular file, I'll show the demo later on in my upcoming lecture. Just only understand this thing. If I save this file like control s, like abhinav.java file, and then if I compile it, then what will happen? And another file will get generated with this extension, right? Like VLC player have their extension .vlc. This is the same way. Just remember that if you write a Java code, if you're writing somewhere, it becomes a Java file, but once you compile it, it becomes a dot class file. Okay, this is what Java compiler does. It produces a bytecode from your source code. Okay, and it gets generated for your Java virtual machine. Okay, and let's say once that particular bytecode got generated, this bytecode can be run on any of the platform. What do I mean by any platform? Let's say I wrote something over here. Okay, a Java compiler created a dot class file for this particular thing. That is, Java compiler created a bytecode, and this bytecode can be run on any of the machines. Okay, any of the machines basically means on any of the platform. That bytecode can be run on Mac. It will run, it will again print, I want a piece of omelette, or I want to have omelette. If you run that code over here, it will also print on Windows. And if you run it over here on Ubuntu machine, that is any other Linux distribution, it will still print I want to have omelette. Okay, so what's going to happen? if you compile a particular Java program, that is this is a Java program, then Java compiler will just create a bytecode from this. Let's say, understand, let's say bytecode, let's say A B C D E F, any kind of things. Let's say this is a bytecode that got created, okay, and this bytecode can run on any of this machine. Where is the machine diagram? This is the machine diagram. Let's say that bytecode is easily understandable for each and every machine, and they run it. So this is the reason why, this is the actual reason why Java becomes platform independent. I'll explain it later on. But till now, I hope I have made myself clear what Java virtual machine is all about. Okay. So it will help you to execute your Java code the same way it was helping you to prepare your omelette. Okay. Although it was not able to prepare omelette on its own, certain things were going. I'm not going into the very technical stuff over here. Just giving a very high level information so that it becomes easier for you to understand. Okay. So the way it was helping you guys to, because if you want to prepare an omelette, a pan is required. Okay. But you cannot prepare omelette with the help of just pan, right? You cannot, let's say I have a pan onto my hand, and I do not have a gas, I do not have a stove, I do not have an onion, I do not have oil, I do not have anything. Just imagine holding an empty pan onto your hand with two eggs onto your another hand, and imagining that, why my omelette is not getting baked up, because because there is no other things available. So in order for you, for your omelette to get cooked up properly, you need JRE, which is a runtime environment. You need a particular environment where you can go and where you can actually, prepare your recipe of the omelette. Why? You need a particular environment. If environment is not there, let's say if there is heavy lightning, heavy rain, your gas will not light up. Okay. If the fire is not burning, then how you are going to prepare an omelette? So you need also a particular kind of environment in which there should be a proper fire, there should be a proper cooking oil, there should be a proper salt, proper pepper. If you want to add onion, there should be onion as well, right? So you need to have a particular environment in order to make, or in order to prepare a particular dish. My dish is was of omelette dish, so I needed this particular environment, that was JRE. So what JRE is now all about, I'll make you guys understand in detail. Okay. Okay guys, so I'm back. So what I was telling you guys earlier, that you need a particular environment if you want to run a particular piece of code. Okay. If I need some piece of code in order to run properly, I need some environment as well. So I need JVM plus set of Java libraries, so that I can execute this particular code. If I just take this particular code, and if I wish, or if I feel that I would be able to execute it and this thing would get printed onto screen, it may not happen, right? Or it will not happen. Why? Because some extra set of libraries. What are libraries? Libraries are just additional set of files that are normally required. Okay. So some set of extra files you would be required. So JRE, that is runtime environment, is combination of Java virtual machine plus set of libraries. So libraries in my case were, this is a library because it is helping me to prepare omelette. Oil, salt, pepper is also a library, salt is also a library, oil is also a library, gas is a library, very important library, because if gas is not there, or if a fire is not there, source of producing fire, that is the stove is not there, if onion is not there, so these extra things that are helping me in order to prepare my recipe of omelette, these are my libraries. In the same way, I'll talk you guys in a technical terms, but just try to understand what JRE normally does. You have your piece of code, that is two set of eggs, and in order to run them, or in order to execute them, or in order to make omelette from two eggs, you would be requiring this particular thing, that is your Java virtual machine plus set of extra libraries. So I hope till now I am making some sense. The picture you guys are having is getting cleared out. Okay. So this is my JVM. This is JVM plus libraries. So JRE, over here it is written that it is also platform dependent. Why JRE is platform dependent? JRE is platform dependent because JVM is platform dependent. Okay. Now deep dive again to my omelette example. You go to a friend Alex and you say that, go and prepare an omelette for me. You just have two eggs onto your hands. Okay, your friend would say that, I have just a frying pan, but I cannot prepare it. Okay, so again, with the help of just frying pan, you cannot prepare an omelette. But you would be requiring this additional libraries as well. So additional libraries are also dependent upon, let's say, they are not onto these Alex's house, they are present onto Lisa house. Alex is also like a fresher kind of person who is just living out and trying to earn some money, just learning some stuff, and he does not have these extra set of libraries. Okay, so he says that, I do have a pan, but I do not have a cooking oil. Friend, we need to go to Lisa's house. She is my friend, and she will give me some extra jar over here, jar files, or like, she will give some additional libraries, or she would go give us some oil, salt, and pepper, onion, gas, and stove. Right. So these are things which are dependent upon Lisa. Right. So this is what all in all I'm talking about, that this is dependent upon your friend Alex, but these extra set of libraries is also dependent upon somewhere else. Okay, and since JVM is also dependent upon someone else, on your friend for Alex, your JRE simply becomes a dependence entity. And what is platform independent, I'll explain later on, but at this point of time understand that, if it is written that JRE, runtime environment, is platform dependent, it means that, it clearly means that, since your JVM is dependent upon Alex, so it is also dependent upon Alex, because if Alex has the pen, then only he can prepare it. Although they might be having some extra libraries, but still they do not have a pen, which is JVM in our case. Okay, so till now, you guys might have got a basic idea of JRE and JVM. Now coming back to step 3, which is the most important one. The full form of JDK is Java Development Kit, and it is basically used by developers to create Java application. So what do you mean by developers? Again, back to my previous very boring example. If you go to a particular kitchen and onto a particular house, as I told you guys earlier, it's not that you can only prepare one piece of code. One piece of code means it's not that you can only write this particular thing. It's not that you can only prepare omelette. You can prepare omelette, curry, a sandwich, milk, tea, coffee, anything. This is the development kit. This is the entire development kit. Like, kitchen is your fully Java development kit. You can prepare Java application. Java applications means you can relate them in terms of food, and number of Italian, Chinese, Indian, Austrian, Thai food, and number of things you can prepare in the kitchen. In the same way, when I talk about in terms of Java, that is, on if I talk about in basic technical terms, you can prepare application. In an order to prepare application, n number of things are required. You also require development tools like compiler, debuggers, etc. A lot of things are required. You cannot prepare it with the help of JVM, or you cannot prepare it only with the help of JRE. You need JDK. You need entire kitchen to build something, because there are a lot of application. Let's say, for an example, let's say Facebook is working on, uh, I'm just giving a very weird example. Let's say Facebook, Twitter, all the very famous websites are working on Java. Okay, and just imagine at this particular point of time. So it means that, it could not have been able to achieve such a big application, n number of modules, sharing, posting, writing, live chat, and n number of things are there onto these social websites. Okay, so they cannot be done just onto a constrained kind of environment. You cannot say that, you would be able to prepare only one thing. So this is entire development kit. And now, if I talk about in terms of Java, it is a combination of JRE plus dev tools like compiler, debuggers, etc. And JDK is also platform dependent. Why? Because it is dependent upon JRE, and JRE is dependent upon JVM. So I hope I have made my concept a little bit clear to you guys, so that you're able to understand. And now, if I talk about this particular thing, so now I hope now this diagram makes some sort of sense. For making omelette recipe, you need an environment which is a Java runtime environment. It is a combination of Java virtual machine plus libraries. So libraries in our case were onion, gas, stove, oil, salt, and pepper, right? And Java virtual machine was your frying pan. And your JVM is also platform dependent. I already told you guys what do you mean by platform dependent. Like you are going there and getting your pan from Rahul who was living in India. Okay, because n number of people living in different areas, different parts of world cannot have same pan everywhere. This is why I'm coming to that particular point. In future Java becomes, in future lecture, I'll let you know, or even onto this particular lecture, your Java is totally platform independent. Again, back to my lecture, to that particular very first point. Now I'm gonna reiterate each and everything over here. Okay, over here there was one point, like Java is platform independent due to this very nature of Java virtual machine. How Java becomes a platform independent? I have just jotted down a screenshot so that you guys are able to understand. This is very important question that is being asked normally by the interviewers in order to confuse young freshers or even people who do have 1 or 2 years of experience in Java. They abruptly ask this particular question. They will simply say, why is Java platform independent when JVM, JRE, and JDK are all dependent upon something? Your JVM, your PAN was dependent upon Alex. Your JRE was dependent upon Lisa uh, because she was having some extra pieces of onion, oil, and gas because your friend was not having those. So your JRE was dependent upon JVM plus libraries of Lisa. I mean, additional help that you gave you. And your JDK is also platform dependent because every other people in their own house have their own set of a kitchen, right? So the kitchen that you are having may not be the exactly same of your neighbor's house or your friend's house. Every house has its own kitchen, have their own development kit, which is totally dependent upon the way they want it, right? So your JVM is platform dependent, your JRE and JDK all are platform dependent. But now, how your Java becomes platform independent? Please try to focus onto this particular aspect. Okay. So what happens? Java compiler is platform independent. So the compiler of Java is totally platform independent. And what it does, it converts the source code into bytecode. Okay. And that bytecode can be executed on any platform containing JRE. I hope it means sense. If not, I'll again go back and explain you guys what I'm trying to explain over here. So if you want to execute a particular program written in Java, let's say this is a particular program written in Java and I want to execute it, JRE is required, okay? And JRE will again convert that bytecode into such a language that it would be easily understood by the operating system, okay? So for this, I'll make you guys understand again with the help of example that I have already shown you over here. So I have not talked about this particular thing, whatever is written over here, okay? So this is what is written over here. I'll take an example of like eggs for making omelette and with the recipe in Egyptian language. So let's say you have a friend. Let's say I am that particular person. I am that particular culprit. I have 2 eggs onto my hand and I have a written recipe. And this recipe is written in ancient Egyptian language. What the hell is written over here? Even I am not able to understand. I have copied it from Wikipedia. But what is this? Crow is over there. This is a snake. And this is a lion. This is a snail. And this is, I don't know, this is mosquito or what the hell is written over here. I have no idea, right? But since I know ancient Egyptian language, so I know it. Let's assume that I have 2 eggs and I do and know this particular language. Okay, if I go to Rahul and I give this recipe to Rahul and 2 eggs, and if I ask him just make an omelette recipe for me, will he be able to make it, guys? Will he be able to make it? The answer is totally no, because Rahul does not know what the hell I've been learning about. Rahul will say, "What have you written? You have two eggs and you want me to prepare a recipe of your omelette. That too, and that entire recipe is written in the Egyptian language. I don't know when you want to do something. I don't know when you want to put oil first, or you would want to put water first, or you have written that instead of uh, you know putting salt, pepper, and onion, put crow, mosquito, and buffalo. I mean, I'm not able to understand what have you written it over here. This is what the essence of this line was over here. Again, I'm reiterating. If you want to execute a program written in Java, JRE is required. Okay, JRE means this Java runtime. This environment is required so that JRE will convert the byte code into such a language that it would be easily understood by operating system. So if you give it to JRE, if you give it to a Java runtime environment, this particular code, it will convert it in such a form into such a language that it would be it would be easily understood by your operating system. Again, back to that particular example, I'll come back to it. Let's say I've written a Java code. This is my Java code. I wrote it in totally different in CentOS operating system onto one of the machine, right? And I want to run it onto Mac. So I will give it to Java runtime environment of this particular uh, system with this particular operating system. And now JRE will convert it into such a language so that it becomes easier for this Mac OS to comprehend that language and execute the code. This is what it was all about. It was really that simple. It will simply convert your source code into bytecode, and then bytecode can be executed on any platform. So once you write a program and you compile it, I told you a bytecode like this can get generated. It's just a weird example, but let's say this bytecode got generated. Okay, this bytecode will go to the JRE over here. This bytecode will simply go to the JRE over here. JRE I've written it over here, and JRE will convert this kind of stuff. If I copy it out, JRE will simply convert it into such a form, into such a language that let's say it converted it into ABC12. Now Mac will understand this language. Mac will not understand the language in which I wrote it. Mac will never understand this source code. This is the language onto which I have written over here. This is the ancient Egyptian language. Your friend will never able to understand. You just give JRE of your friend who is maybe living inside your friend's house, and that JRE will convert it into such a language which your friend would be able to understand. I hope now all the diagrams are making some sense over here, right? So JRE will convert this bytecode into such a language that it becomes easily understandable by this particular Mac machine. Okay, and now this ABC12 can be run onto this particular Mac machine, because now it is understanding their own language. This is the machine language kind of stuff that this machine is able to understand. This machine can never understand the language that was written in ancient Egyptian. The same way, if I give again this code, this ancient Egyptian language code, how to prepare an omelette over here, I'll give it to the JRE of Windows. Okay, and again it will convert it into a particular bytecode kind of stuff, and that bytecode will convert it into such an understandable language which Windows can understand. Windows also cannot understand Egyptian language. It will convert your language into their own language. Like the same way, if I want to communicate with the Chinese guys, or let's say Arabic kind of person, I need a particular person in between, right? So that I can understand this is that particular person, the interpreter kind of person who comes and tells me what he's saying, and I can translate it, the translator kind of person. Okay, so this is the reason Java is write once, read uh, write once, run everywhere. I have written it into ancient Egyptian language, but if I give it to JRE of Mac machine, it will convert it into its own form, and it will run it. If I give it to JRE of Windows, it will convert it into its own form, and it will run my code, and my code that is I want to have omelette, will simply run over here. I want to have omelette, I want to have omelette. So that is it. This was the all of this JVM, JRE, and JDK. And I don't know why people have made it till now so complicated by giving this hell kind of diagram, that JDK is a combination of JRE plus development tool, JRE is a combination of JVM plus library. I mean, people never tend to, I was not able to correlate it, in normal life, because every time I learn it, JRE, JVM plus library, sometimes I forget what library is all about. And there was a point of time in my career, or it may have happened to you guys as well. If when you try to go deep dive onto something, there was a time when I was, just uh, searching onto the Google, how to how to only install JVM. What will happen if I only have JVM installed, and can I run the Java code? So guys, you guys also must be having this kind of idiotic kind of questions. Can I only install JRE and run Java code? Can I only install JDK? So these kind of things were onto my mind. Sometimes I deleted JRE from my program file. Sometimes I deleted JDK. Sometimes I was going to install this virtual machine. I thought this is a virtual machine like VMware virtual machine, so it should get installed. But no, this is not how it works. You need to correlate it with the normal examples of your life, the way they work. So again, this is a very long lecture, it has gone, but I'll just reiterate everything. JVM will help you to execute your Java code. It is platform dependent because each computer will have their own OS, and each OS will have its own Java virtual machine, as I told you over in this particular example. Java becomes platform independent due to this very nature of JVM. Okay. Similarly, your GR is also platform dependent, but still Java programs can run on Mac machine. They can also run on Ubuntu. They can also run on Windows. They can also run on Linux. So it, so this is the reason why Java is platform independent. Okay, and this is a JDK. If you want to prepare a Java application, entire full-fledged application, then it's not like only with set of libraries you would be able to do that. A lot of things are required. Some files are used for, for printing, like SOPL. You need some set of libraries. If you have not imported Java libraries, some commands will not work. So n number of things are required. If you want to prepare a curry kind of thing, you need spices, you need salt, you need water, you need gas, you need stove, you need lighter, you need uh, person to bring all the ingredients. So n number of things are required in order to prepare multiple of food or multiple application. For building a Facebook application, thousands of libraries would have been required. So guys, now I hope I have made this picture clear onto your mind, what actually JVM is, how much it helps, and where actually your program gets executed. Okay, what JRE actually does. So what JRE does actually, so again I'm reiterating finally in the last, for the one more last time. If you want to execute a program which is written in Java language, JRE is required. And what JRE will do, if you compile that program, you have already compiled that program previously, your source code gets converted into bytecode, and that bytecode can be executed on any platform containing JRE. So what JRE will take this bytecode and it will convert it into its own language, like I have shown over here. JRE will simply take this bytecode, convert it, will consume it and convert it into this language, and this language is understandable by Mac. Similarly, the same thing, JRE of Windows will do the same thing, because they cannot understand the language of ancient Egyptian, right? They need to communicate in their own language. So this is the language in which it got converted, right? So I hope I have made myself a little bit clear. And if you have followed this lecture entirely, and if you have followed my mindset, guys, I'm really sure in your entire life you would never be even required to revise your concepts before going to an organization's interview. You can simply correlate, and you can also explain these kinds of uh, concepts even to your interviewer. And even in the halfway, if you create particular diagram that so this is a JVM, this is a JRE, and some sort of additional libraries, if you go a little bit deep down, just try to create a particular scenario kind of stuff, that person will immediately stop you and will say that, yeah, I got it, you know it. Okay. So guys, this was all about this lecture. I hope I have made myself clear, but still, if those who are having any issues, please let me know. I'll update my lecture, or I'll make you guys even understand onto a more deeper level, or into or even more better fashion. It normally takes time for me also to take some time out of my normal life and to bring these lectures. So just let me know if I am missing anything, and I'll update it whenever it is required. Okay. So guys, thank you, thanks a lot for your time, and thanks a lot for your patience. Thank you everyone.